Oh, hey, my friends. Good morning from the Pacific Northwest. So happy to be here with you. Come on in. Come on in. I would love for you to have a journal that you're working with today. It could be a cosmic smash booking journal. It could be any kind of journal. It could be a sheet of paper, coloring goodies. Yeah, come on in. Hey, Jane, good morning. Hey, Jen. Hey, Kelly. Yay. Good morning. Come on in. Oh, hey, Jean. Nicole. I feel like my posse's arrived. Kate. Yay. I always wonder, like, people who've never experienced me before or any workshop, then they're like, wow, she's excited. It's true. I'm very excited. Yeah, come on in, everybody. We're going to work with the theme STEADFAST. And I'm also inviting us, if you've got it nearby, no worries. I thought of this last minute, or you know me, I would have told you ahead of time. We're going to work with having a stone. If it could be, hey, Camille, hey, my friend. It could be like, this is a stone. It's got magic engraved. It's actually a magnet. I'm going to use this today. If you've got any kind of gemstone nearby, anything sufficient. And if you don't have a stone, no worries. Don't sweat it. You can imagine a stone because that's sufficient. So if you've got one nearby, grab it. I mean, I'm like, are other people like me where I have like a bowl of stones next to my work area? Maybe not. But if you've got one, grab it. Grab it. We're going to use it today on our page. Oh, I love that, Nicole. Thank you for saying that. Thank you. Look, I am so happy to do these each month. They lift my spirit and it makes me happy. It lifts other spirits too. Okay, no worries. If you don't have a stone, you can even we're creatives. Let's use our imagination. You can even just get a small object that might carry the same weight of a stone. So that's also an idea. It doesn't have to actually be a stone. So come on in. Let me know how you're doing this morning. And you know me, I just want the truth. No fluff. How you doing this morning? What's shaking in you, not the world. We know what's shaking in the world. Let's focus on ourselves in this moment. Let's gift ourselves an hour of just us and the page, which I get to do a fresh page. Oh, hey, look, here's one of my, if you read my email this week, I said I'm putting both feet in. Here's my feet. I'm putting both feet in. This is my reminder. I painted my feet purple and stepped on my page. It was so fun. It was so fun. All right, I'm going to get to a clean page. I'm working in my 2025 journal from the Era of the Dreamers workshop. And I'm going to have my magic stone. Kelly, I hear you're holding some worries today, friend. Jean, survived January, right? Nicole, feeling overwhelmed, but just backed out of a commitment that was adding to the overwhelm. You know how proud I am of you for doing that. You know. Jen G, I'm feeling a little scattered, being pulled in lots of directions. Yeah, I'm feeling a bit that way myself too. Next week I am teaching a 5-day, I'm calling it a sacred reset called Chaos is Canceled. And it's exactly for when there's a lot of moving pieces in our lives and we're starting to feel like overwhelm, breathing on the back of our necks. If you feel that way, I'm like, come, come. It's totally free. It's my gift to you. I do have a VIP experience where I've made some really rad workbooks and you get lifetime access. So I'll be putting in a link to that after we finish our page, because I want to focus on the page, but I just want to give that a shout out because I think it's divine timing for a sacred reset. Let's see, Roberta, stressed and ready to jettison some mental load. I hear you, friend. Jane signed up. Yes. Nicole, you printed out your workbook this morning. Yes, good. I had a lot of fun making that. Okay, so steadfast. I would love to know, when you hear the word steadfast, what do you think of? What do you think of? Share it in the chat. I'm curious. Sometimes we each have a unique definition of the word. Like, I'm thinking about steadfast is this, it's like this committed movement. Like, this is my definition for myself. It's this committed movement forward, but with ease, not chaos. Let's see. Roberta, evenly paced. Yes, yes. Nicole, reliable and consistent. Kimia, so good to see you, friend. Oh my gosh, seeing your name put a big smile on my face. Let's see, a big tree, unmovable and strong, resilient, strong in the flow, keeping on, keeping on. Yes, yes. So we all share a really, we share a pretty similar idea of steadfastness. Unshakable as a big rock. Yes, yes, which, Camille, you bring us to the stone. So if you missed the part where I said, grab a stone if you got a stone nearby. If you don't sweat it. Seriously, it is a-okay. You can take a little small object near you that might have a similar weight of the stone, or you can just use your imagination, because we are all creative badasses here and we have beautiful imaginations. So no worries. Okay, so yes, so steadfastness. I'm really leaning into, you know me, you all, each one of you here know me enough to know that how I believe in the power of movement. And I feel like we're living in times that are taking from us in ways that maybe we haven't felt in a while or maybe ever. And so I think there's this peace that comes with being steadfast, of calmness and ease and just one step at a time. It's like, yes, I'm going to keep moving forward. Yes, I'm still in committed action, but I'm also being very present and very mindful of myself and what's going on around me to make the best choices for myself. That was kind of my thought around this. And then I'm thinking of the stone and thinking about, stones are ancient. They have been here since the beginning of time. So thinking about how a stone outside, all of that it's seen and it's been through, and it gets stepped on and it gets blown around and moved around, and it's still there. It still exists. And so really thinking about these stones in our lives that help keep us present and steady and strong. So if you've got a stone, I'd love for you to put it in your hand. And if you don't, just imagine it. Just imagine it. And if you feel comfortable, close your eyes. And let's just take in a breath and exhale. And really feel the weight of the stone. I find myself just automatically wanting to rub it to feel its smoothness. Maybe your stone isn't smooth. Just feel it. Maybe you want to put your stone up to your heart. Just think about, what does this stone symbolize to you in this moment? Just right now in this moment, here together, what does this stone symbolize? Just listen to your inner knowing. None of the noise that's trying to get it right. What does your heart want to claim with this stone? What's coming up for me is belonging, being with each of you, feeling safe, feeling joyful, feeling like we are a group that's connected no matter where we are in the world. And there's this piece of belonging that I'm feeling in this moment. You feel like you're complete in that moment of receiving what the stone means to you. I'd love for you to share it in the chat box. That was beautiful. What's your stone representing today? I love that. Allowing the moment. Yes, so good. Grounding, solid foundation. Beautiful. Staying present, being okay with my flaws, and connecting with humans. Yes. Oh, safe to feel deep happiness. Yes. If this was ever a time for the both and mindset, where it's okay to feel the grief and the heaviness, and it's okay to also feel the joy and the love. This stone represents heaviness and fears. Mine is in the shape of a spiral shell. Beautiful. I saw my feet on the path spiraling deeper into connection with self and life's journey. Oh, I love all of your stones messages. So, so beautiful. All right. So let's do a little prompt. We're going to do 2 prompts before we jump into moving around on our page. Holding on to hope to overcome my worries. Yes. Oh my gosh. I love all your shares. Thank you for sharing, being vulnerable, being visible. I'm really grateful for that. All right. I'm going to pop our first prompt in the chat box. I'm also going to speak it out loud. Think of a time when you felt truly steady and unwavering. What supported you? Oh, I love that. My stone is my connection to a particular spot in this earth. Yes. We're going to spend just about another minute here. Right, our next prompt is, what elements in your life help you stay strong when things feel uncertain? Spend one more minute here. All right. So my invitation is to look at what came out through the prompts and just take notice if you had any repetitive words. If anything, yeah, look at the repetitiveness. Is there something, like, I noticed how much grounded came up for me. And just really holding on to that. Like, that's going to be something we want to pull out to move forward with us on the page. So just take a minute. And if you want to share in the chat, if you feel called to, you can share any of the pieces that came up or any words that are really popping out to you right now. Or maybe just how the journal prompts are making you feel. Like, what did it stir up for you? For me, I guess it was this moment of recognizing just how many tools and resources I have in my life And when I'm in moments of overwhelm, I forget that. And like taking the time while I feel clear and grounded to do the prompts, I'm recognizing like, wow, I do have quite a bit to hold me and to keep me steady, but it's being present to it. That's what's coming up for me. Faith, unconditional love, family, friends. Yes. Love, connection to myself and the sea. Beautiful. Yes. Yeah, connection came up. That was a big one for me that came up too. Beautiful. So our next step is we're going to move some color, and I'm just inviting you to go light because we're going to do things on top and we're going to write in the things. And so I just wouldn't go really dark or thick if you're doing any kind of paint or anything. Like I'm just going to do a light splash of watercolor. If you want to do crayon, colored pencil, whatever, I just recommend it be light. And if you're feeling called to do a dark color, then do what your heart wants you to do. You can always cut things out and paste them on top. It's fine. There's always a way. I'm going to read some more of these words coming in. Daily practices. Yes, that came up for me too. Sunlight. Oh, yes. Energy work. Imagination. Surrender. Yes. Family. Friends. Love. Trust. Yes. Trust came up for me too. All right. Let's move some color. Art. Yes. Yes. Creativity. All right. And as always, go with the color that's intuitively wanting to be on your page, not what you think needs to be on the page. Pink has been coming up a lot for me. Like the page I just did is super pink. Here we go with pink again. And I'm reminding myself to go light, take my own advice. Jean, you're doing pink too. I love that. Looks a lot lighter on the video. It's actually a little bit more pink here. And, you know, when we move the color, just a reminder that it's not to cover. It's okay for things to show through. We're just moving the energy. We're just moving the energy. So there's no need to fully cover it, you know, unless you want to. I'm actually going to choose to go really light today and just splash some pink on there. So we'll just spend about a minute here. Not too long. Not too long. I'm going to get my little stone up on my page. I'm going to let mine dry. If you want to share what color you're working with, tell me all the things. Tell me all the things. Orange and green, beautiful. Ooh, and a touch of lavender. I love that. Shades of purple and green are my two favorite colors. I love them. And then I saw Barney when I was a kid. Well, was Barney there? No, maybe it was my kids when my kids were young. And I was like, Barney is green and purple. And then I could never unknow that. Oh. Nicole, you said gray squirrel, which I didn't realize was the color I chose until just now. We call one of my children Squirrel and the other's middle name is Gray. Awesome. I love that. I love that. So good. All right. So you might have guessed we're going to be drawing some stones. And, you know, just take a moment just take a moment before you jump in to just think about what we're working with here, right? We're working with this idea of steadfastness, being steadfast. We are exploring the ways that we lean into certain elements in our life and their people, their feelings, ways of being, their things, tangible things we can touch and use. And so I would love for us to put a handful of just an outline of a stone. We're not going to like color them yet or collage them or anything like that. We're just focused on the outline. And again, there's never a right or wrong way to do this. You can do a stack of stones. You can do a pathway of stones. You can do random stones. Just really listen to what wants to go on the page. Not in a like controlling perfectionist kind of like, it needs to look this way. Just like what is like right at your heart. I truly believe when we quiet the noise, it's right there at the heart. Like, what is that? What wants to be there? And, start drawing. I'm just not going to be attached to things, not being in a, stones are all different shapes and sizes. I'm not going to be attached if I do a line that looks weird, right? My perfectionist doesn't get to play here. So go for it. As far as how many, I would say, well, the number 5's coming up for me. I think 5 is a good number. If you want to do less, if you want to do more, that's totally on you, whatever you feel. But I think 5 would be cool. It gives us a couple to play around with. So when you feel ready, or maybe you won't feel ready and you just got to jump in. Sometimes I have to do that. I'm like, I don't actually feel ready, but it's time. Oh, I think I'm going to use the other side of this marker. Jen, you said mine is like a yellow ochre color. Ooh, I like that color. Okay, nope, I actually like the other side of this marker better. Okay, so let me be quiet so I can think about what I get to do over here. All right, so mine wanted to kind of be in like a stepping stone path. That's what felt good for me. And I'm going to give you some ideas, and then I'm just going to let you work at your own pace, for the next 10 or so minutes. So we'll just work quietly together, or maybe you're jamming out on the other end with music. So once you've got your stones, and again, if you're not there, no worries. I'm telling you stuff in advance so you can do it at your own. I would love for you to think about what word you want to put in the center of your stone, sort of like how magic is in the center of my stone, and pull it from the elements that hold you steady, that support you in those uncertain times. So it could be a name of a family member. It could be a way of being, like trusting, connected. It could be creativity, a tree, the sea, whatever comes up for you. So you're drawing your stones in whatever way they want to come through, and then you're going to label each stone. And if you have any questions, just pop it in the chat box. I'm paying attention over here. And when I complete that step, I'm going to share the next one. But don't worry, you're not behind. You can work at your own pace. It's a-okay. And I'm kind of paying attention to the words that came through. Like the word strong is on this stone, family, trust, connection, spaciousness, breathe. It's almost like stones have chosen for me through the journal prompts. That's wild. Wow, I got to think about that for a minute. Wow. So I've written mine in my stones. I'm just going to kind of let them be. And while I'm letting them be, before I decide what I want to do next, I am feeling called to do a color behind the stones, not in the stones themselves, but behind it. So I'm going to work on that next. And as you're moving color around, or maybe you're collaging or you're still writing, it's fine. Wherever you're at, it's great. Check in with your body. How do you feel? When I was moving some of this pink around, I noticed how I felt lighter a little bit in my chest. And I was like, oh, interesting. I must have had some heaviness in my chest that I didn't realize. And as I'm moving this color, I'm like, oh, I actually feel lighter, which is no surprise with this work. So just take notice how your body's feeling. And if you don't notice a difference, that's okay. It's always good to check in with ourselves. And I'm thinking about steadfast as I'm working, and I'm thinking about, oh yeah, steadfast has spaciousness. Steadfast has a pause. Steadfast is moving in harmony and with a calmness. And so I'm putting that on my page, right? I'm not trying to do too much at once. I'm not moving really fast. I'm just like being present to I'm moving color. Oh, look, here's pink. I'm moving some pink. Okay, well, not going to think about the stones yet. I'm staying present to the step that I'm in. Once you're really clear on your stones, definitely inviting you to do whatever feels the yummiest. If you want to paint, if you want to collage, if you want to do some drawing, um, maybe you want a plain background and for the stones to pop, maybe we want to do a whole scene. Like, this is your page. This is the representation of the elements that hold you steady. So it gets to look like however you want it to look like. So freedom, I mean, you always have the freedom in my stuffs to do whatever you want with your page, but just a reminder, like, do what feels the best for you. One thing I would like for you to think about while you're working and looking at each of the stones, do you feel like there's one stone that holds you the most? Is there one stone that you're like, wow, this is the one. This is the one too, that the one that I lean on again and again and again. Great question, Jean. What kind of collage elements do you mean? Things that align with the words? Yeah, it could be, you could, like, for me, I had, this feels like a path. So I could put like natural elements around it, do some collaging of trees or flowers. Or you could totally collage around the stone and the collage representing that stone. That's also a really cool idea. So whatever you feel called to, my intention with this page is that you could look at these stones and just really breathe in that essence of what they stand for you. So maybe you want to add some images of, like, I have trusting and creativity, spaciousness. Does that support, Jean? And you know I like my collage. Yeah, you're welcome, friend. So I'm gonna I'm going to sift through some magazines while my paint dries. You know, a part of me doesn't want to decorate the stones. I might change my mind. I kind of like the way they look. I like that I could see my journaling underneath, and I like that for me the lettering that I wrote in the brown marker sticks out enough that it's legible. So I think I might leave that for now. Give it some space to breathe. I mean, spaciousness is one of my stones. So I'm going to look through a magazine and just see. And I'm curious if you just heard what I said about, is there a stone that really holds you the most? If you want to share that, that's cool. Music. Yes. I love that. It's kind of interesting. My three largest stones would be the ones that hold the most for me. And that was obviously not planned. But yeah, for sure, these three are the biggest ones for me. I am not alone. Yes. Yes. What a great reminder. We're all here together. We all have a handful of stones. And your share, Kelly, has me thinking, if there's an affirmation or a mantra that's coming through for you, like I am held, like you inspired that, Kelly, with the I am not alone. I trust my path. There's any kind of steadfast affirmation, you could most definitely create that to add to your page. The ideas are endless. The ideas are endless. I just want the page to be a beautiful reflection of what steadfast means for you. I love that, Kelly. Yes. Yes. The I am statements. I love that. I like these hands. Like they're holding. I might cut them out to be with the stones. I don't know yet. Let's see. Let's see what happens. Jane, I open my magazines to a page full of, yep, stones. Intentional creativity strikes again. Cannot make this up. Oh, me. I love it. It's so beautiful when we just like gift ourselves this moment with our page and just allow ourselves to be present, like what really comes through. Such a reminder for us. That's kind of neat. It looks like she's holding stones. That's wild. Wow. All right. I found some goodies. Let's see what they're going to do on here now. And for those of you who shared, like, being in that place, feeling the worry, feeling the overwhelm, I'm wondering if there's a stone on your page that you could lean into today, that you could put into action, that would support you. I'm just breathing in this moment, y'all. It's so peaceful here with you. I'm just like, so peaceful. It's beautiful movement with creativity, love and sharing. Yeah. We need these pockets in our life for sure, more than ever. Don't ever feel guilty to gift yourself the time to do this work. Because I'll tell you, this is my sanity right here. I'm laughing, but I ain't kidding. How y'all doing over there? You want to pop in the chat? Let me know how you're doing. How's it going? I kind of like this. Oh, I love that, Jane. Focusing on all the goodness coming through. Yes. Oh, my glue stick just died. That's okay. I have 15 other ones. Oh, I just make myself laugh and laugh. Here we go. Nicole, you said I bought a bunch of random magazines from Half Price Books last week, and this is the first time I'm flipping through them. It's like they knew they needed to come with me. They're like, Sage, you'll be using these. So good. I'm always on the hunt for new magazines. Like, there's some that I definitely buy because there's no way I'm going to find them like at a thrift store or secondhand shop or anything. But boy, you can find some really cool stuff at thrift stores, like people who are just like purging, maybe a loved one's house or their own, and just really old vintage magazines. They are so cool. I am here for that. Oh man, see, that's what I'm talking about, Nicole. That is awesome. I really love this image. This woman who's holding these, two large stones, but she's so steady. Like, look how she's so beautifully balanced on this big one. It's like she's held. They're not toppling over. It's not like it's too much for her to handle. It's exactly what steadfast feels like to me. It's so great. So great. It's true, Jean. It's so true. Oh man. I love all these helping hands on my page. I'm getting that vibe, Kelly, of I'm not alone. I got all these helping hands. I love it. And I'm trying to be in a practice of doing this with my pages now, is to write the theme. So I'm just going to write in a small way, steadfast, and then I'm going to put today's date. Because I always go back to pages and I'm like, what did we do this page on? I can't remember. So I'm just adding these little notes for myself this year. That's my new thing I'm adding to my pages. All right. For those of you who are finishing up your pages, if you're not, no worries. Even when this ends, you can still work on it. No pressure. I'm curious if you want to share in the chat box, like what's coming up for you. Can you tell a difference of how you feel from when you entered to now? What's your favorite thing about your page? Yeah, I just asked you like so many questions. I like my page a whole bunch. Jenny said, I feel more calm and grounded in the present moment. Yes. Little pockets of pause. Little pockets of pause. That is what I'm going to be leaning into. And I am thrilled to be in this pocket of pause with each of you. Really, really am. I feel like hugging someone. I love that. Yes. Yes. My page feels intentional, vibrant, and healing. Yes. That is my wish. I love it. Yeah. Like when we look back at this page and we're like, oh, yeah, not alone. I have helping hands. I know I can be steady. I've been steady before. I agree 100%, Nicole. Just working on creating brings me calm and grounding. I mean, like, look, there's science behind it. Like, it is a thing, you know? It is a thing. That's why for me, it's so important to like have this practice of you can always count on me to be here every Wednesday of every month. You know, like I have my practices that are just unshakable because we need them. I truly believe that. I know I do. Like, let me speak for myself. I know I do. So as you continue to work on your page, you know me. I love to see them. If you want to share them in Storytellers and Wild Creatives Facebook group, um, you know, and I know most of you are, I'm sure, on my mailing list, and you've probably read, or you're on the Facebook page and you read that I'm choosing to stay on Facebook right now. You know, I'm giving myself full permission to be a human and change my mind. But in this moment, I'm going to stay on Facebook and I'm going to hold steady to the beautiful community that I've got there. So if you're going to be in on those parts, like I'd love for you to be there and just, yeah, be in space with me, share your work. Even if you're doing work that you're not doing with me, like I want to see it. I want to know how you're doing. I wouldn't say those things if I didn't mean them. Like I genuinely want to know how you are. So I'm going to be holding steady my Facebook group and totally acknowledging there might come a time where things get bananas and I'm like, okay. I mean, they are bananas. Let me acknowledge that, but I think you know what I mean. I just want you to know that I'm choosing to stay steady right now there. And if you want to go over there, I got you. I got you. So before we wrap this grounding party up, I do want to share if any of you are curious about Chaos is Canceled. I'm going to put the link in the chat box. So it's going to be Monday through Friday next week, 1 p.m. Pacific. I'll have recordings available for a limited amount of time. VIPers get unlimited access. They get lifetime access. So the intention of Chaos is Canceled is really like addressing the overwhelm and addressing what's in our control, what's not in our control. How do we ground in those moments? And how do we get focused and take like committed action moving forward in whatever way works for you? I just think it's so necessary right now. And it's also the work that I do all the time with my clients. And I just, I just feel like it's divine timing right now to do this 5-day. No, friend, I hear you. I hear you. Facebook is not my favorite place. And yeah, at all. And I'll be honest, I don't go onto Facebook unless I'm checking my business stuff. If I'm checking my community, if I'm checking my program groups, I'm not really on there at all. It's not my favorite place. And it's a challenge for a lot of us who have built communities on those social media accounts because a lot of us don't want to walk away when we have thousands of people, you know, and it's like it took years to create and cultivate that. So it's a tricky time. It is a tricky time. And I appreciate you saying that you love my offerings. I love doing this work. I wouldn't do it if it wasn't my heart. Like I love this. I think it matters. I think it makes a difference. And so I just want to just acknowledge each of you for no matter how you're feeling, wherever you're at right now. I know there's a lot going on in many ways, many layers of it. And I just really, really acknowledge you for choosing yourself for this hour, for choosing to come in here, be in community, do this work. Um, you know, I will always say this work is, I mean, clearly it's one of my biggest stones. And it's cool to create, but it's even cooler to create with you. So, all right. So if you're still on the Facebooks, come share with me. I'm going to share my page over there too. And if you want to come to Chaos is Canceled, come hang out with me next week and let's work through some overwhelm together. And take good care of yourselves. Take really good care of yourselves because you matter. And I'm so glad you exist and you make my life better. So, yeah, take good care of yourselves. Okay, friends? I love you. And I'll see you soon. Somewhere in the cyberwebs we'll connect. All right, my friends, have a good rest of your day.